I'm J.R. Church. Welcome to today's analysis of the news. Again, we look at the ancient book of Enoch on today's program. Yesterday, we talked about Resurrection Day, when the angels were given long cords or ropes, as this passage describes it, to go and resurrect the saints. And Enoch asked an angel, what are these cords, these rope-looking things? He said, they are the measurements of the saints. Well, listen, folks. In the 1950s, the double helix DNA was discovered, and I suppose seen under an electron microscope for the first time. They look like long cords, ropes, so to speak. They actually have the twist of a rope, and that's exactly what Enoch called them. So, you know, it's an amazing thing that back before the flood of Noah, when Enoch was writing this down, that he described DNA perfectly and said that they are the measurements of the saints. And the angel goes on to say, you know, if they were eaten by a fish, hey, no problem. They'll be resurrected whole. And so after the resurrection, we come to chapter 62. And this is what it says. And the Lord commanded the kings and the powerful and the exalted and those who dwell upon the earth and said, open your eyes. Now, I want you to understand what this is. This is the judgment of the nations. When the Lord comes and He resurrects the saints, this is at the second coming, all right? This is not the rapture of the church. That happened 7 years prior. And I think we could see that in the first parable. But at the end of the tribulation period, when the judgment of the nations takes place, then the Lord will gather all of the kings, those who dwell upon the earth, and those who hold the earth, that is the international banking cartel, those who supply the money for the earth to run on. And He says to them, look at me. Open your eyes if you're able to recognize the chosen one. Jesus is saying, look at me, look at me. Do you recognize me? Now, unless He had been here before, He couldn't say that. If this was His first time to come, if this was God sitting upon the throne, not Jesus, and there was no first coming, but He just shows up at the end of days, He would have to say, let me explain to you who I am. He didn't have to do that. He says, look at me, you kings, you international bankers, look at me, look at me. Do you recognize me? I've been here before. That's what He's saying here. And the Lord of the Spirits sat on the throne of His glory, and the Spirit of justice was poured over Him, and the word of His mouth slew all the sinners, and all the impious, and they who were destroyed before His face. And then will stand up on that day all the kings. So see, when He comes in power and great glory, a sword will come forth from His mouth. That's Revelation 19. And will slay the armies, slay the wicked. All right? And then He sets up this judgment. He sits down upon His throne of judgment, the throne of glory. And all the kings, this is verse 3, all the kings and the powerful and the exalted and those who hold the earth, that's the international banking cartel, will see Him and will know that He sits on the throne of His glory, and that the just are judged in justice before Him, and that there is no word spoken in vain before Him. In other words, you won't be able to trick Him in that day. You won't be able to say, I plead not guilty. Oh, you will know that you're guilty, and you will know that He knows, and there will be not one vain word allowed in His presence that day. All will be revealed. And pain will come over them, that is the kings, like a woman who is in travail, and to whom the birth is hard. And one portion of them will look upon the other, and will tremble and cast down their countenances, and pain will seize them when they see the Son of the woman sitting on the throne of His glory. So Jesus says, look at me. Do you recognize me? I'm the son of the woman. Do you remember to Eve, God promised the seed of the woman would bruise the serpent's head? This seed of the woman has been looked for down through the centuries. When Jesus came, born of a virgin, He was the offspring of the woman. He was the son of the woman. Not of Adam, but of Eve. And the powerful kings in all the earth will honor and bless and exalt him who reigns over all, who was hidden. Oh, we learn now that the Messiah had been hidden. Verse 7, for formerly the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him before his power, and has revealed him to the chosen. So Jesus is saying to the kings whom he is now judging for all their wickedness, he says, you recognize me? I'm the son of the woman. I'm the one who was hidden. In other words, in Enoch's day, the name of the Son of God was withheld from among men. For had men known that his name was Jesus, they would have recognized him when he came. He did not want men to recognize him. When Jesus came, born of a virgin, born in a Bethlehem stable, he came incognito, so to speak. He came with the purpose of being rejected. Had they recognized him, they would have fallen down and worshiped him. But they did not recognize him. Oh, he came unto his own, and his own received him not. He was rejected of men. Why? Because their eyes were blinded, their ears were deafened to spiritual things. His name was withheld. He came for the purpose of dying. And so, all of his arguments with the Pharisees, his prodding the Pharisees, you bunch of vipers, he said. Oh, that's not the way to win friends and influence people. Well, he didn't come to win friends and influence people. He came to die on Calvary's cross. As a matter of fact, when Jesus stood before Pilate, Pilate said, don't you know I have the power to set you free? And Jesus said, no, you don't. No one has the power to set me free. And so Jesus laid down his life. He deliberately finagled things around until he was rejected and crucified. He did that because he had to die as the perfect sacrifice for the sins of men. And so he was formerly hidden, and the Most High preserved him before his power, and has revealed him to the chosen and the congregation of the holy. And the chosen will be sown, and the chosen will stand before him on that day. So resurrection has taken place, and the powerful kings, all the powerful kings, and the exalted, and they who rule the earth will fall before him upon their faces and worship, and will hope in this Son of Man, and will petition him and ask him for mercy, but they will receive no mercy, the verses say. And the Lord of the spirits will only press them that they hasten to leave his presence. And their countenances will be filled with shame, and darkness will be heaped upon their countenances. And the angels of punishment will receive them to take vengeance on them, because they have abused his children and his chosen. You see, these kings of the earth have not been kind to Israel, and have not been kind to Christians, filled with their own egotism and their own pomp and, shall we say, egotism, well, their pride. They will have put down God's people, and now they are punished for it. See, that's what the judgment of the nations is about. It's how you treated God's people. I was hungry, and you gave me meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was naked, and you clothed me. I was in prison, and you visited me. That's good. But to others he will say, I was hungry and you gave me no meat. You see, it's how the kings treated God's people. And so it says, they will be a spectacle for the just and for his chosen. And they, that is the saints, will rejoice over those kings, because the wrath of the spirits of the Lord of the spirits rests upon them, and the sword of the Lord of the spirits is drunk with them. And the just and the chosen will be saved on that day, and will henceforth not see the face of the sinners and of the unjust. And the Lord of the spirits will dwell over them, and they will dwell with this Son of Man, and will eat and lie down and rise up with him to all eternity. So the saints will be with the Lord for all eternity. And the just and the chosen will have risen from the earth. See, this is Resurrection Day, what we talked about when we